Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing this evening? I'm doing pretty good. Um, what I want to talk about, I want to do this quick video before my show come on. Um, what I want to talk about is I noticed that on primetime television shows with black women in them, there's a common theme. The television shows, whether it's reality shows or um, actual, you know, shows with a storyline. I notice with black women, I notice that they all have a common theme, and that theme is they all seem to depict, most of the majority of them seem to depict black women in a very negative light. Um, I want to talk about one show in particular. Um, the show Being Mary Jane. Everybody was excited about that coming back on. I was too. The one issue that I have with that show is the major issue that I'm having with that show is that they have her jumping from one man to the next. They have her getting sexually involved with all these guys. When the show first started, she was with a married guy, and now she was in Atlanta. To make a long story short, now she's in New York. Now she's getting involved with another guy. Her character is a successful. She's college. She has a college degree. She's educated. She has a job in journalism on the TV. The news channels. So she's a successful black woman. So that's a good thing. She has no children out of wedlock. That's another good thing. But they showing her getting sexually involved with all these men. And I have a serious issue with that. It's like, I just think that there's so many different other storylines that they could create with her character besides her going from one man to the next. And I just think that I'm getting tired of watching these shows where they all seem to have a common thing. They all seem to depict black women in some type of negative way. And she's successful and everything, but then it shows her getting sexually involved with all these men, and she has no committed relationship. And her character does have a desire to get married, but she's involved with all these men. And I just think that um, I don't like it. I don't like that. I think that shows puts a very negative. What message does that send? To society that already extremely stereotypes black women. You know, um, and there's other shows that comes to mind. Like today, I was watching Married with Medicine. Now, those women are the thing that I really like about that show is that those women are married and they're successful. They all have careers in the medical field, and they're married. They're all married, and that's a beautiful thing, and that's a good positive thing. But then they get messy. The problem that I have with the reality shows that I like, I stopped watching Basketball Wives altogether. I just quit watching it altogether. I don't watch Basketball Wives anymore because um, I got tired of every time I was watching it, the sisters was on there fighting, and I really don't like to watch reality shows when black women are fighting a lot. Now I gotta admit I do like Housewives of Atlanta, but they're not as messy as the girls on Basketball Wives. Um, but they do have their moments. They have their moments where they falling out, and I just think that there needs to be more positivity. There needs to be more positivity on television for black women. Um, and it just seems like every time, and like the show Scandal. Now that's the show that that's the show that all of us black women, get accused of liking. I don't even watch the show. I don't like the show because first of all, she's committing adultery. Second of all, um, it's about politics, and I'm not into politics. So I don't have interest in the show, and I don't watch it. But that's one of the shows that us black women get stereotyped. All of us black women get stereotyped, and they say that that's another stereotype. They say we all like to show Scandal. I've heard some black men on YouTube say that all of us black women supposedly like to show Scandal, and all of us don't because I don't even watch the show. So that's just another horrible stereotype that they have. That's another prime example. She's committing adultery with this white guy. That's the president. I don't know. I guess he's supposed to be the president of the United States. I don't know. And that's another thing. She's very powerful, very educated, but then she's committing adultery, and the whole show is based on her messing around with this white guy. So I just think that primetime TV don't do a very good job of showing black women in a positive light. You know, um, we're so stereotyped. We're probably the most stereotyped race of women on the planet. You guys watched my video, what I did, and I compiled a list of all the stereotypes that they have about black women. There's more. And we're the most scrutinized, we're the most stereotyped, um, just horribly. And so when you have shows like this on primetime television, what does that tell society? Especially, particularly some of these shows where the black women are educated and they may even be married, but they're still messy. They're still fighting or arguing or whatever like that. And so that tells society, that confirms to society that all black women are loud and have attitudes and all that kind of stuff. And I get it that these shows they try to reflect real life. They try to show black women as being human and all that kind of stuff. But then it's like they just show it's just a lot of negativity. It's a lot of the shows have a lot of negativity. Um, what I would like to see as a black female, I would like to see some more positive images of black women on television. And right now, I'm not seeing very much, and it kind of bothers me. I don't about. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Um, but the show being Mary Jane, um, it's so many other storylines that they could have. They can make her character, let her character find a nice guy and get married. But it's so many other storylines. Um, she could have a baby. They'll create a storyline around her having a baby and trying to juggle motherhood, being a wife, and a career woman. They could have a storyline around that. They could build a bigger storyline around the relationship that she has with her family. Her brother's a drug addict, so they could build a story. That's the whole storyline there. Her niece just got the incident from the police officer. They could build that storyline up a little bit. So I look at the show and I look at so many possible other storylines that they could create for this show. They can make her have a little bit more issues on the job. Why don't they let me write the show? I could create some good storylines. They need to bring me on as a writer. I could create some real good storylines for them. Something that does not involve her sleeping around with all these guys. You know? Because I think there's so many other things that they could build storyline around where people will still watch the show and the show will still be interesting. That does not involve. She's like a one woman Sex in the City. pretty much. She's in New York now, so she's like a one-woman Sex in the City. So that's no good. And I don't like to see it because she's educated. She's highly intelligent. She's educated. You know, she doesn't have any children out of wedlock, which is good. So she has a lot of good qualities, but she's messing around with all these guys. She's committing all this immorality. So I just think that there's other. That's just name that show as a prime example. Um, I just don't like all the negative images that they have. There's not a whole lot of us on primetime television. There's not a whole lot of black people on primetime television. And when they do depict us on primetime television, it's not in a very positive light. So let me know in the comment section what you think. I'm just kind of irritated by that. I just don't like all the negative images that how they portraying black women in the media, in on primetime television. Um, Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about that. But I got some more interesting video topics coming up, so stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and share my video. This is Sweet June.